There's an unfortunate fallacy, ladies and gentlemen, in this field that more equals better. Now, it does make sense if you're looking at it logically. If I'm simply affirming more, I am simply saturating more. And yes, that can have its place under certain nuances. But I think we can all agree, especially those who have really put this into practice, this more is better, that with more affirming, more time visualizing, more pages gone through scripting, also unintentionally, in most cases, comes more attachment, more obsession, more need for result, more expectancy that the next time you check your phone, there's the text, the email, and so on. And it can be very difficult, even myself, as someone who does this for a living and presents it and practices it daily. Even for myself, it can be tricky to find the balance between more work while keeping attachment as minimal as possible. Where focus goes, energy flows. And if you're doing more from a lack-based space, I don't have results yet, I need to do more, your focus, while on more of the end, is being energetically fueled by not having, leading to a greater feeling of not having in that process. So it's not more affirmations that you need. Unless you are exceptionally good at keeping yourself on a level playing field, it's not more affirmations that you need. It's not more time spent on it that you need. It is more quality within the process you are already doing. Let me give you a mild analogy using sleep. More sleep isn't always the solution. If you already get 8 hours of sleep, going up to 10 probably isn't what you need. But you may find that within your 8 hours, you're waking up a lot because the room's temperature isn't great, because you're having to get up to go to the toilet, because you're having to get up to get a drink, and things are breaking that sleep up. If you can find ways to make it so that you stay sleeping all through the night, or at least getting up as minimal as possible, that same 8 hours becomes quality sleep as opposed to broken sleep. So more is not synonymous with best. But let me give you some tangible, actionable things you can do. Because it's all well and good me saying more is not better, but how do you make use of that? Look into your process and see where you're slipping up. See why you feel the need to do more. See where you could be doing better. Some general things to consider are you letting the 3D get the best of you? If so, affirming more to beat it probably isn't the best thing for you. Instead, finding better ways to handle that 3D. Anxiety regulating methods, more time socializing so you can de-stress more, things of that nature. Removing the things that have you checking the 3D, making you feel this way. I.e., if every morning you're waking up and checking to see if they've texted you, getting that spike of cortisol, feeling disappointed if they haven't, avoiding that altogether could simply just make your process more successful because you're no longer focusing on what you don't have as much. Manifestation is all about dominant state. No one is perfect, so do not expect perfection from yourself. But let's say it's a balancing scale. You can up the work you're doing, but with that often comes heightened tension, heightened stress, heightened expectancy. So while you're upping it, you're accidentally also upping the negative, keeping you where you were, in most cases. But if we lessen the stress we have going on, we bring that negative stuff down, making it so that your dominant state of having is increased without doing any more work, for example. So if you're finding that the 3D is getting the better of you, don't consider, at least not yet, Don't consider upping the work you're doing and making yourself a slave to your own desires, but instead lessen through various means the amount that you are being affected by the 3D. The amount that you invest time and energy into panicking, doubting, fearing, being pushed negatively by the 3D. This will bring your negative side down, meaning for a more enjoyable journey, and because the negative will now be lower, the positive will naturally be more heightened, making it an actually more successful process. Without the stress of feeling like if you've missed some of your 40,000 affirmations you have to do that day, then you're screwed. You could avoid all that by just having a better way of dealing with the negative. Now, of course, I do recommend grabbing my full Beating Anxiety and Overthinking course because it's designed to help you do that in that way. Link down below. But like I said, look into your process. Is it struggling with the negative? If so, deal with the negative in a tangible way. Don't just try to bury it with more affirmations. If the boiling pot of water is bubbling over, what do you think is better? Turning the heat down a little bit or slapping a lid on top of it? The lid is going to make it bubble over even more. So turn the heat down, let it cool down, simmer down a little bit, won't keep bubbling over. Look into your creative process if your destructive side of things, your doubts, your fears and so on aren't actually that bad. Then you could look into your creative process. Is it actually more that you need, or is it doing it in better times, doing it in better ways? Again, tangible advice. If you find that by doing affirmations, you don't feel them true, you don't feel like you believe them, you don't feel great doing them, but you're going straight into them from the stressful day after work, maybe do a 5-minute meditation first. Maybe do some breath work first. Maybe listen to some calming music first. Maybe watch a comedy show or some TikToks or something that make you laugh first to get yourself into a better and more receptive state, and then do your affirmations. Because again, even from the creative side, more isn't often better. Instead, doing it better is better. So what can you do with the process that you have currently to improve it instead of just slapping more time on it? I gave you a couple of examples, but for myself, I like to do some deep breathing first. And this can literally look like 20 seconds or so. Doesn't have to be full Wim Hof methods. Doesn't have to be a full a tantric meditation. 20 seconds of just some really deep, focused breathing can be enough to then make your affirmations or visuals better for you. So take consideration of that. Get your negative process better. Make your positive creative process better. Then look into other elements like, are you actually targeting what should be targeted? Are you focusing on the end, or are you focusing on text and then stressing yourself out about it? Are you trying to do the middle, or are you trying to push the 3D? Look into your process. I don't know if I would call it a mantra. I don't know if it fits the requirements to be a mantra, but the motto that I personally live by to maximize the effectiveness of what I've just given you is, be sure to live in the present, but when you're not, be sure to live in the end. Because that makes the best of today, but ensures that tomorrow brings you what you want. Now, I made that mantra up, so if you like it, by all means copy it, but it came from me, so I'm coining it. But what this is essentially saying is, live in the moment. Because when you live in the moment, there's less depression from the past, there's less fear about the future, there's just the abundant now. This can help with detachment, stopping that negative side. But when you're not living in the present, like when you choose to do your conscious manifestation work, or when you're doing something mindless like washing up or whatever, take that time to live in the end. And this will help you be creative. Now, if your desire naturally comes to mind during the day, this is your time to realize, am I thinking good or am I thinking bad? If you're thinking good, take into consideration the first point, deal with it correctly. Then move on to thinking good and help create. Be sure to live in the present, but when you're not, be sure to live in the end. Because that way you create the best of today, but ensure that tomorrow brings you what you want. Now that is it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need more affirmations. You don't need more stress. You don't need more panic. You don't need to panic if you don't hit your 10K a day. You don't need all of that. We've all had experiences where we thought of someone and then they've called moments later. Or we've listened to a song and it's thought of a song and it's played moments later. Borderline instant manifestations with a handful of thoughts. Where was the need for 10K affirmations? Where was the need for SATs? Where was the need for obsessive processes? There was none. Now we can all agree, simply by teachings, that to the subconscious mind, a song on the radio is the same as a person. The only reason why it may not play out in the same way is simply because of your conscious mind getting in the way. But we can learn from this and try to do the same with the person as we did with the song or the random friend, being keep the negative low, keep the positive high quality, and let the dominant state play out when it does. Now, if you do need my help one-on-one with your situation, I am available. I have phone calls, video calls, and emails, or emails depending on which ones you want, all designed to help you specifically with your situation, overcoming the guesswork of piecing together random videos, overcoming the long waits for questions to be answered, and actually giving you something tangible you can get started with. Now, if one-on-one is not for you, but you do want more of my content, more of my products, I do have the memberships available where you can get over 100 exclusive videos, such as Katie talking about what it was like being manifested by me and the full X-Back mini course, as well as a ton of my products completely for free and everything else on a discount. Or the biggest of the membership, which offers all of that and a 10-minute call with me each month and 3 days of me affirming for you. Or if you're a learner and you want to get stuck in, I have 3 courses available at present: the full Manifest Your Specific Person course, the full Self-Concept Identity Blueprint course, or the full Beating Anxiety and Overthinking course, which is also available for you, designed to help you succeed. But thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. I do urge you to put this into practice before you start trying to just pile more words into your day. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.